How to Train Your Dragon. Full recap. How to Train Your Dragon tells the coming-of-age story of Hiccup Horrendous Haddock III, a scrawny, clever teenager living in the Viking village of Berk. Life in Berk revolves around one central struggle, the ongoing war between humans and dragons. To the hardened Vikings, dragons are destructive pests that raid their livestock, burn their homes, and must be killed on sight. To be a true Viking is to be a dragon slayer. And no one represents this ideal more than Stoic the Vast, Hiccup's father and the proud chief of Berk. But Hiccup is different. Where other Vikings rely on brute strength and brawn, Hiccup is awkward, clumsy, and physically unimpressive. What he lacks in muscle, however, he makes up for with intellect. Hiccup works as an apprentice to Gobber the Bee, building gadgets and weapons in hopes of proving himself worthy of Viking respect. But his inventions often cause more trouble than success, leaving him the subject of ridicule among his peers, especially from the more traditional and combat-ready Vikings like Snotlout, Fishlegs, and the twins Roughnut and Toughnut. The story begins during a chaotic dragon raid on Berk. Determined to show his worth, Hiccup sneaks out with one of his new contraptions, a homemade crossbow-like weapon designed to take down dragons. Despite everyone's disbelief, Hiccup manages to hit one of the most feared types of dragons, a Night Fury, a sleek, mysterious dragon no Viking has ever seen clearly, much less killed. The creature vanishes into the night, crashing somewhere in the surrounding forest. Hiccup rushes out the next morning to find proof of his achievement. Deep in the forest, he discovers the dragon tangled in his net. But when he looks into the dragon's eyes, he doesn't see a mindless beast. He sees fear and confusion. As Hiccup raises his knife to kill the dragon, he hesitates. Instead, he cuts the creature free. This decision marks the true start of Hiccup's transformation. The Night Fury, whom Hiccup later names Toothless for his retractable teeth, is wounded, his tail fin damaged, rendering him unable to fly properly. Guilt and curiosity draw Hiccup back to the dragon repeatedly. What begins as careful observation slowly evolves into cautious interaction. Through trial and error, Hiccup begins earning Toothless's trust, learning that dragons aren't the terrifying monsters he's always been told they were. They have fears, personalities, and intelligence. While secretly bonding with Toothless, Hiccup is also forced by his father to begin dragon training alongside the other Viking teenagers. The training is brutal and focused solely on how to kill various types of dragons. But while his classmates try to assert dominance with violence, Hiccup applies what he's been learning from Toothless, using gentleness, understanding, and clever tricks to calm the dragons. This new approach confounds everyone, especially Astrid, a fiercely competitive and skilled warrior in training. She's suspicious of Hiccup's sudden success. Hiccup's reputation in the village begins to shift. The boy once mocked as weak suddenly outshines his classmates. Stoic, unaware of the real reason behind Hiccup's progress, grows proud but also confused by his son's odd techniques. Meanwhile, Hiccup secretly designs a mechanical fin and harness that allows him to ride Toothless and help him fly again. Their first flights are awkward but exhilarating, marking some of the most breathtaking and emotionally resonant scenes of the story. Man and dragon, predator and prey, boy and beast, suddenly they are partners. But complications arise. During a particularly tense moment, Astrid follows Hiccup into the forest and discovers Toothless. She's horrified that Hiccup has been harboring a dragon, the very enemy of their people. To gain her silence, Hiccup offers to take her on a ride with Toothless. What starts as a rough journey soon transforms into a breathtaking experience as they soar above the clouds and witness dragons in ways no Viking ever has. Their flight brings them to a shocking discovery. The dragons are not attacking Berk for fun. They're being forced to steal food for a much larger, more terrifying dragon called the Red Death. This enormous beast rules over the dragons, demanding constant feeding. The raids on Berk are a desperate survival tactic, but Hiccup is trapped by his fear of disappointing his father and the community that finally respects him. The situation worsens when Hiccup wins the final dragon training trial, earning the right to kill a dragon in a ceremonial fight. Instead of attacking, Hiccup throws down his weapons and tries to show the crowd that dragons aren't enemies. Toothless senses Hiccup's danger and bursts into the arena to defend him. The secret is out. Stoic, betrayed and furious, doesn't see Hiccup's actions as bravery but as treason. He imprisons Toothless and disowns his son, calling him a disappointment. Driven by years of war and desperation to finally end the dragon raids, Stoic uses Toothless to lead an armada of ships to the dragon nest, hoping to destroy it. Hiccup is left behind, devastated, ashamed, but determined to fix his mistake. With Astrid and the other Viking teens at his side, Hiccup mounts a daring rescue mission. Together they ride the dragons they once trained to kill. The climax of the film takes place at the volcanic dragon nest, where Stoic's forces awaken the monstrous Red Death. The gigantic beast emerges from the ground, destroying ships and overwhelming the Viking warriors. Not even Stoic's strength can save them. Hiccup arrives just in time with Toothless. A stunning aerial battle unfolds, with Hiccup guiding Toothless through narrow dives, fireballs, and terrifying near misses against the enormous Red Death. Using his intelligence and Toothless's speed, Hiccup devises a plan to take the dragon down from the inside, targeting its blind spots. In the final confrontation, Toothless fires a powerful blast into the beast's mouth, triggering a chain reaction of explosions. The Red Death crashes into the sea, defeated, but victory comes at a cost. Hiccup is caught in the blast and plummets from the sky. Toothless dives after him, protecting him from the flames with his own body. Later, Hiccup awakens back home, surrounded by friends and his worried father. Stoic, seeing the courage and sacrifice of his son, finally understands who Hiccup truly is. Not a warrior by traditional standards, but a leader with vision and heart. The price Hiccup pays is steep. He's lost part of his left leg in the battle. As the people of Berk rebuild, they begin forging a new relationship with dragons. Once enemies, they now live side by side with them, riding through the skies as partners. Where once Berk was constantly at war with the dragons, it becomes a place of harmony. The final scenes show Hiccup and Toothless flying together once more, their bond stronger than ever. Toothless sports his new tail fin, while Hiccup adapts to his prosthetic leg. They soar into the horizon, not just as friends, but as symbols of a future where understanding overcomes fear. If you love this recap, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more deep dives into your favorite shows.